what is up, everyone in the I don't even know what to call it, the communities.
Community.
I
Yeah.
hell yes. I am here with a legend right now.
A legend.
A legend. I didn't stutter. Most definitely. I am here with the one and only, you know him, you love him, Brian Spencer. What is up, man?
What's up? What's up? My kid's being bad as hell in here. Hold up. Hey, yo, chill. Daddy's on the phone. Y'all gotta be quiet. I can see you. Quiet. All right. Cool.
That's
See you
lit.
into the glass. But so yeah, man. What's good?
Man, I am chilling today. I'm kind of glad we're doing this again. It was fun, so I'm glad we can chop it up some more. That was interesting. Yeah, you gave those interesting answers last time, so I got to make sure we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that. So yeah, but of course, start off. What everyone wants to know. Obviously what you do and where you're from. If you're okay disclosing that.
Of course. What do I do? I make music. Originally a guitar player. In death metal bands. I was in a band called Aborted Existence, and now I been a producer for about 6 or 7 years, and I'm from a town called Camden, Delaware. Not it's close to Dover. I usually
Hmm.
say Dover because people don't know Delaware, let alone any of the cities in it. So
Yeah,
near Dover, Delaware. Currently living in Los Angeles, California.
that is lit. I actually heard of Camden. I'm in Maryland, so probably that's probably why. But
Yeah, if you're like, because the border from of Delaware is only, I'm sorry, the border of Maryland's only, I think, 15 minutes from my mom's house, and we're like in the center of Delaware, so it's a really
ah,
small state.
it very
But
yeah.
what is it, Goldsboro? Is it Goldsboro? I'm trying to think, Cecil County.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know where that's at, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's like the township right over the border.
right. Yeah,
But
Cecil. I think even is in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
There's a couple things that are like he must have been important Cecil related, like areas and towns and fucking counties and shit. So
Right.
yeah, man. Is it
That's
nice over there yet? Is it like is it springtime there yet, or is it still chilly and cold and
oh,
shit?
spring hit us hard, man. It's hella pollen. It's hot. It hit us
Nice,
hard,
hell yeah.
man. If I'd be okay if it wasn't for the pollen, but it still looks nice though. It still
Okay,
does.
yeah, like sometimes it be taking a long time for spring to kick in, like cold as shit in like April. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, it was cold for a minute. It just recently, probably I would say about a week or two, just started getting hot.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah, man.
most def. I'm pretty sure the weather out there is amazing, like always. LA.
Always. It's just always nice. It's always like I would say like average temperature throughout the whole year stays around like 75, which is like fucking perfect. 80.
Hmm.
And summers are late, so instead of being from like June to August or like September, it'll be from like July to like October. It stays hot up until like late October. So
Oh, that's dope.
yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of wild. Yeah, it's pretty good. I love it.
Interesting, interesting. So how long have you been out there? Would you say? Would you say?
Seven. It was 7 years in February.
Oh, okay.
Um, yep. It
Dope,
was
man.
I think February 1st.
Hmm.
Forget the year. It was 7 years ago. So what would that be? 2012 or 2013? I forget. Whatever. 7 years ago. February 1st. It was 7 years ago.
Okay, okay. So what kind of made you start, wanting to produce? I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know.
What made me start wanting to produce? At first, well, I always wanted to be in a band since I was a kid. Um, Seeing Korn and Green Day kind of sparked that, interest in wanting to pursue music. And I knew from, I mean, I must have been like 6 or 7 or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I always wanted to be in a band. I always try with my friends in like junior high to like, go over their house. They'd be more interested in playing video games and then want to play for like maybe half an hour. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to like do this in like sixth grade, seventh grade, like, we need to get signed. We need to practice 5 times a week. And they're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, fuck. So finally in high school, my senior year, Um, I joined the band and with some dedicated guys, and that lasted until I was about 23, 24. And even though they were dedicated and could play the music, it was like in a band, there's always one, maybe two guys that sort of run everything and like write everything, and they're kind of the brains behind the idea. And not to sound cocky, but that was me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to have to rely on anybody anymore, and it was death metal. So, um, I was looking for something more like where I didn't have to, I could just do it myself, whatever. And I was starting to listen to more genre, other genres besides death metal. And at the time, for some reason, I was listening to like Wiz Khalifa, Meek Mill. This is like 2010, when Drake first came out,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Mac Miller, I think. And then my brother was into like Mobb Deep and Jadakiss and stuff like that. And then there were certain beats. I really didn't like a lot of the beats that were coming out during that era, but there were certain ones that always caught my attention and that I loved and gave me goosebumps. And a lot of Wiz Khalifa's music seemed to strike a chord with me, and I realized it was a combination of him and a producer named Edam, who's at ID Labs in Pittsburgh.
Mm.
That just made me like, I was like, dude, I want to make music like that. It was uplifting, it was like euphoric sounding almost, and anything ambient I'm a fan of. And obviously I went on to experiment with different sounds, whatever. But as far as getting into producing, that was kind of like a turning point. Hearing that, and Edan from ID Labs, Jalil Beat, Lex Luger, and Clams Casino were like the guys that I really started listening to. Like, wow, they're doing this by themselves and flipping samples and doing that. And like, wow.
Mm.
And so yeah, that was my inspiration for doing that.
Dope, dope. So it's like the metal scene, at least like growing up, was it kind of big around the Delaware area, or like what was the music at the time?
No, absolutely not. In fact, the other guy that I was the guitarist in my band. He was like 21. I met him when I was like 15, and just we happened to be on a bus trip going to like New York for the day, and I was talking to my grandma about like double bass. I was a fucking nerd back then, and he heard the word double bass, and he was sitting like behind me to the right. I felt somebody tapping my shoulder, and he's like, "Yo, what are you listening to?" And I'm this kid. I'm like 15. He's like 21. So fucking I'm like, oh, I'm listening to, I think it was Glassjaw at the time. So we ended up kicking it and fucking ended up kicking it and fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ended up getting married. No, I'm just kidding. No, we ended up hanging out and playing guitar, and he like just like was a super shredder, and I was still playing like Blink 182 at the time. So he was kind of like, yeah, all right, kid, you got a way to go. And um, so, but he gave me like some things to practice, like for speed picking, and I just practiced for like a year straight of just, dexterity, speed, like just trying to play these riffs. Called him like a year later, yo, what's up, man? Like, let's jam. He's kind of like, I'm busy. I'm like, no. Like, I know what you saw last time, but let's jam. So I go over there and just like fucking melt his face off, like just shred my fucking ass off. And he's like, oh shit. So we started a band like right then and there.
Well, that's what's up.
And up until that point, like I said, he was older. There was nobody. I mean, he would have to sort of settle, I guess, and play in punk bands or rock bands and sort of try to push more of a metal sound on them. But once because I'd always liked metal, I just couldn't play it when I met him. So when he kind of gave me the blueprint to learn all that shit, it really worked, and I really took it to heart and really practiced and became good, like much better. So there was no metal. All that to say that there was really nobody that played that kind of metal. If there was, it was not. This was kind of right before MySpace and all that shit. So like, it wasn't like it was really hard to find people, especially in Delaware. Like, you would have to go to Philly or Baltimore or something to really jam with somebody.
Hmm.
So yeah, there was no scene. There was nobody playing metal, especially that type of metal, and it was basically non-existent where I was at the time.
Right.
So Yeah.
Interesting, dope. So I guess metal was kind of what brought you to like the scene that you're in now. That kind of like what you produce for now, which I guess you would call it trap metal.
Yeah. Yeah. And we went. I can't remember what did you say? Ragecore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were talking before about the whole trap metal thing, and then and things like that. Um, and it's always like I metal always was like at the core of my creating. Like I would go off and do different things, and I've
Mm-hmm.
played acoustic guitar with singer songwriters and made straight up hip hop, Jay Dilla sample, Kanye beats and shit. But would always want to go back and do like a metal project. So I would put metal like guitars on my beats and stuff like that. And it was just a matter of sort of the universe catching up with me, and all that sound became popular, or people were screaming and putting guitar samples in their beats. And that's always been done, from Aerosmith to, Walk This Way to fucking uh what was that fucking Run DMC, that dun
Mm-hmm.
dun dun, I forget what it's called, but guitar
The
samples.
the
Just like
Anthrax one.
yeah, like the concept has evolved, or with Public Enemy, that Bring the Noise shit,
Yeah,
so it's always been going on. But oh, that was Anthrax too, wasn't it? The sample.
I think so.
Either way, yeah, it was one of them motherfuckers. But yeah. So I've always been. It was always a thing, and it's nothing new. It was just kind of like it started to bubble up again. With people like Bones and even Zillakami and citymorgue, Sosmula, all those guys, and then it's like they found me type thing. I
Yeah.
was hitting Lil Gnar on Twitter, like sending them. I saw him recording in the studio, and I was like, yo, I gotta work with that guy, and fucking sending him videos of me making beats with guitar, and he fucked with it, and it was kind of like him saying, okay, I'll work with you, like sort of validated me. People were like, oh, okay, we can like this guy too, because it's like if you don't have that validation from somebody, it's really hard to build your own name as a producer. You
Yeah.
know, like shit ain't cool until it's cool. I mean, that's kind of a stupid thing to say, but it's like you could be doing this amazing thing and be super talented, but until like you get signed or another artist does a feature with you, or you get love from like somebody that's already established, it's kind of hard for people to really gravitate toward something like that, because they're like, oh, is that cool? We want to be cool. Can we support that?
Of course.
So like, I'm like, nigga, I've been doing these beats. I've been fucking shredding on the guitar. I got shred tattooed on my fucking forehead. Like, like I've been doing this, and y'all are just now hearing it, which is cool. Everyone got to put their time in, but yeah, I just stayed true to myself, really, and it's like the universe kind of caught up with me.
Hmm. Interesting. So what do you like about the genre, the trap metal ragecore? Like, what gravitates you to it?
I think it's a lot of things, man. I think it's just the sort of like I've always liked aggressive music and pushing the boundary, but just it's like a more accessible form of like death metal or hardcore or where it's just the evolution of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it live or when you turn your music up, it's like there's nothing quite like I get goosebumps and I feel like welling up inside, like you just want to like fuck shit up, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. That's what I get out of it. I fucking it's like a positive release of negative energy, so to speak. And I just like it, man. You can't really describe why I like shit. It's like the aggression, the aesthetics of it, and it's cool. On one hand, it sucks that everybody's sort of into this because it is like a fashion statement, like a fad, or like, oh, cool, Slayer, Metallica, Marilyn Manson, and to me, it was like I said before, we spoke before. It's like I used to get made fun of, and I was never picked on like to the point where I would like get beat up and shit, but definitely had to like fight for like to be like, nah, this is me. I rock this shit. I don't have to wear what you guys wear. Like, fuck
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm wearing a Slipknot shirt. What are you gonna say about it? Like, it wasn't cool like it is now. So the fact that it's cool now is like that it's being accepted makes me happy, and I just have to keep that in mind it's allowing for my music to reach a broader audience as well. So I have to just embrace it and just look at it as a good thing.
Of course, right, right. So what was it like working with Zillakami? Because especially in this scene, he's like one of the biggest, arguably the biggest. So what was it like working with
Yeah.
him?
I got to be honest. When I first met him, I didn't know who he was. I never heard his music. Um, he was in the studio with Lil Gnar. Like there was probably like another 5 niggas there. It was Germ was there as well. Shout out Germ. And the light skinned dude that was in citymorgue's No Jumper interview. He was there. I
Mm,
I thought he was on Nar's team, but he was. I guess he's with Zilla. I don't know, on Zilla's team.
okay.
Um, but when so me and Nar we did the beat or we did the song. He did his verse, and it was cool watching that process. Everyone has a different process. And it was cool, like the whole Future sort of like mumbling. Okay, now he found some words. Is that the chorus? Is that the verse? I don't know, just like hashing ideas out and then coming up with the whole thing. And Zilla's on the couch behind me. There was like a center desk where I was on the computer and I like kind of playing the beat through speakers, and Zilla was on the couch behind me with Homie, and he was like typing his phone. I guess he was writing lyrics, and Nars like, "Oh, you cool? You want to jump on this?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And he was like, "You cool? This one? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Word, all right, okay." So he's getting on the song, cool. And Nar was dope. Nar fucking did his thing. So Zilla steps up to the mic, and like I said, I'd never heard of this dude. I didn't know anything about him. He did seem sort of like, in a good way, like very like, I don't want to say picky, but like just one of the like eclectic almost. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like he knew what he liked. He wasn't afraid to be like, oh no, I don't fuck with that band. That band sucks. And I'm like, oh shit, like they're like legends. But I won't say who he did because I don't want to put his shit out there. But
I
so
got you.
he gets on the mic and he fucking. I mean, this dude kills it, dude. Like he go like how his verse starts out, where I don't know exactly what he said. And giga no bullet or whatever the fuck he does. And like I remember having to stop right at that giga part. Like, all right, run it back. All right, let's do it. And I'm sitting there like, yo, like this dude is fucking awesome. What was his name? Like Zillakami. I'm like, yo. So he does this whole fucking. I remember him going back and doing his ad libs when his verse kicks in, and he goes, "Yeah," like just the like way that it sounded, like raw with no music. 'Cause, it's in his headphones, and we're just. And I was like, "Yo, this kid got it right here. This motherfucker right here is bad." And so he gets done with his verse, and my whole attitude changed. I'm like, "Yo, hey, yo, what was your name again?" Like, yo, shit. Hey, let me get your number. Uh, and at some point in time during that studio session, I was playing beats for Nar actually to see if he wanted any. And like I said, this one I didn't know who Zilla was, and maybe it wasn't. But I was playing beats, and Nar was kind of like, next one, next one, next one. And then one of them, Zilla was like, "Yo, play that one again." So I played it again, and he's like, "Yo, send me that." And I was like, "All right." This was last July, and that beat actually ended up being the song that he just dropped, uh, called "Cunt Face" on his German Dogs EP.
Mm-hmm.
It was called. I call my beats dumb shit. It was called Burberry Coffin. So like I saw fans like typing that in the comments. Like, how did they know that name? So he must have called it that or something. But that was the first beat that he was other beat besides Man Down that he was like, yo, let me get that. And uh, I found out through his process because like I'll send him beats through text messages, and if he doesn't like the beat, he won't respond. If he does like the beat, he'll be like, "Yo, send me that." So like at first, I thought he was just ignoring me because it was like I sent him, a couple beats, and then I sent him one. He's like, "Yo, send that." I'm like, "Oh, so what about the other ones? No, okay, just that one. All right." So all that to say, Zilla is the fucking man. And if I would have listened to his music or known about him before I went to the studio with him, I would have been a huge fanboy and probably ruined the entire experience. No, not really, but I would have. It would have been a whole different attitude because that motherfucker's bad, yo.
That's lit,
So
man. That's lit.
yeah.
Have you ever met Sos yet? Sosmula?
No, he was out in LA or he was at least by himself at the studio during that session. I don't know if he came out during that visit, but like I said, I didn't know that he was in a group. Um, as a matter of fact, ironically enough, somebody had just asked me if I like citymorgue
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. I think like that day or the day before, and I because they knew I was going to the studio with Gnar. And I was like, oh no, but there's this dude named Zillakami. Fucking, have you heard of him? And he was like, that's fucking City Morgue. That's the, and I was like, oh shit. Well, yeah, I just worked with that dude.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, man, fucking rock with that shit, bro.
That's dope. What's some of your other favorites, like artists that you worked with, besides Zilla and
That I've
Nar?
worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I for sure fucking like out of the top shit 3/5 people that I could ever work with. I'm currently working with, and that's my favorite member from one of my favorite bands is Sid Wilson from Slipknot.
Mm.
Um, I grew up on them. Obviously, I got a fucking Slipknot tattoo on my wrist. It's hard to twist it and make it look how it's supposed to there. But I'm a huge Slipknot fan, and I was always a huge fan of Sid because he was the DJ, and he always added like sounds and certain scratches, and it was like Slipknot was a bunch of Iowa boys, corn fed,
Mm-hmm.
and look, I don't want to make it seem like they look like racist like that, but like Sid was always like on the documentaries and shit, they be doing their thing, and Sid was always like smoking blunts with the niggas, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a nigga too. He was always like on the on the ones and twos on the like fucking just like bumping rap music and shit and like freestyling or doing whatever. And I was like, y'all fuck with that nigga, y'all fuck with that motherfucker right there, yo. He was just always the one. Like everyone else seemed like they just threw this in the rock, even if they didn't. I don't know, but Sid over here had his hat kind of cocked to the side and wore like just at the time whatever it was just like he had this like swag about him. I was like, y'all fuck with that nigga, and he was the wildest one. Like you watch their videos, and like when I saw them live, I mean, jumping off of shit that like you would die if the crowd didn't catch you. Like all these dudes doing fucking shit now, like crowd surfing and jumping into the crowd and shit like that. Like this motherfucker is like the king of that shit, bro. So, yeah, working with Sid Wilson from Slipknot. I'm trying to get a hold of Corey Taylor, and everyone's like, "Why don't you just ask Sid?" Corey Taylor is the singer of Slipknot, for those of you who don't know, and Stone Sour. And they're like, "Why don't you just ask Sid?" And it's like, I want to get his attention. I want Corey Taylor to work with me because of either my own persistence and perseverance, or because he likes my music or whatever. I don't want to like Sid to put in the word and be like, "Yo, that's my homie. Go work with him. Yeah, he's cool, man. Yeah, just go work with him." I don't want I don't even know if he would do that,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to work with him because of my own act. Get his attention myself, basically. So I would like to work with Corey Taylor. Another one that I've worked with that I really fuck with. Let me see. This dude I make beats with, Ben Jane. I remember watching his video on Genius, and I just like we weren't friends or anything before. He was standing outside of a pizza shop in Hollywood. I was basically like, "Yo, I know who you are. Fuck with you. I play guitar, so on and so on." And he produced Rich the Kid and Kendrick New Freezer and like shit for like Ferg and a whole bunch of other shit. And just approached him, and we ended up fucking making like 10 beats the first time that we linked up. And one of them ended up being a YNW Melly Margiela song, co-produced. It was me, Ben Jane, and Levi Thomas. And yeah, so like that, and then the other thing is Morgoth Beats. Morgoth Beats is a fucking genius motherfucker. he was really hard, and he still is like really hard to read. So, and I'm a very like I try to like break the ice quick because a lot of rappers and producers are like mad serious and like just hella fucking, you know what I mean, like macho, like whatever. And I'm like,
Most deaf.
you don't want to see me and my brothers, my blood brothers, like it's fucking gayest joke and fucking most, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so inappropriate, like embarrassing that. But so I'm like joking with him. He's kind of on FaceTime with me, just kind of like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll see you. And I'm like, oh man, he probably thinks I'm a fucking,
You know,
you know.
I interviewed him for a documentary, so I know
Did
exactly what you're
you?
talking about. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
yeah, he's hard to read, ain't he?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you'd be
how
like,
I'm
but then he'll like
organizing.
laugh or something. You're like, oh, you wait, yo, what? Yeah. So, but that's just he's cool, man. He's
Yeah,
fucking. He always got some shit up his sleeve. Like he always like you hear his tag, you know he's about to snap. They're like, we go link up. He's like, yo, I got a song with so and so and so, and then you hear it. It's like the fucking fire shit ever, and you're like, yo, how did you even have that conversation? Like you don't even talk. Like yeah, you know, like did they reach out to you? Like who made that shit? But nah, that's my nigga, yo. He has helped me out a lot. He's I'm blessed to have somebody like that in my life as far as like on that's nobody owes you shit. Nobody has to do shit for you, but he has he's got an artist Lucifina and
Lil Xan.
what's that?
Lil Xan. He works with him a lot.
Well, yeah, Lil Xan. No, I was do you know Lucifina, his
Yeah,
artist?
the female. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, dude, that's probably like my favorite artist right now. She is bad as far as like she can scream like a nigga, she can
Hmm.
fucking rap, she can sing. Like it takes a lot for me to fuck with a female artist like that, and that's not me being misogynistic or whatever. Just when I listen to music, you don't realize it, but you're kind of listening to like it's like something what you want to hear something that relates to you,
Exactly.
and like whatever like therapeutic almost. So with that being said, it's like a lot of times a female voice is not like it's you know what I mean. It doesn't sound like my thoughts or like something I would. So
Exactly.
with her, it's like, dude, when she screams, it's like old school Dillinger Escape Plan, like real deal, fucking like like put some hair on your chest, screaming.
And like also with that too, like just in the tri-modal community, like females just have it hard. Period. So for her to like stand
Yeah,
out like that,
yeah, and now and that's the thing. Like I'm all for like fucking female empowerment in the industry and
Of
like
course.
working with females, and I just have a thing with and we can't pretend like this doesn't exist, but a lot of times, and it's happened to me a lot, attractive females try to get shit for free.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, I usually don't get charged for it. And I'm like, well, I got 2 kids and I'm charging you. So, um, so I try to like not let that happen and sort of put my foot down. Now, of course, just as with a male, if I fuck with them and I approach them or whatever, like, we can work something out on the price and not usually, collect on the back end.
Hmm.
But yeah, so this is all the same question of who fucking did I like working with, basically. So yeah, Morgoth and his artist Lucifina, and that's probably that's basically it. Like it as far as like my favorites who I've worked with so far.
Dope, man. Dope. Even artists that you didn't work with, mainly underground. Who are your like favorite underground artists? Besides like Zilla and Gnar. Just now you don't
Who are my
necessarily have to
favorite?
work with them. Yeah.
Um, let's see. Mm,
Is this a lot? I think you put someone on your story. I can't remember when this was, but I think it was an artist on your story that you put. I can't remember who it was though.
an artist on my story. I don't really much like, and I see a lot of people on there. I just for some reason it's like I have to like tell myself to put shit on there. But I'm working with this artist, Sinister. You actually interviewed him, Sinister,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's my nigga, man. That's I fuck with his music a lot. Um, underground artists that I fuck
Hmm.
with. My homies are in a band called Black Crown Initiates. Black Crown Initiates,
Hmm.
and the singer James Dorton is my favorite metal vocalist and this is my homie. He was actually the original singer in my old band, and yeah, like those dudes are bad. Trying to think. Fuck. Hold on. Who else? I'm trying to work with. Hmm. Give me a second, because I'll be messaging people all the time, and like when I get asked this question, I can't fucking think of anybody. Definitely Cold Heart right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, mm, Scar Lord. Is he still underground? Like 60 million views is kind of like not underground.
I mean, he's going on tour with Bring Me the Horizon, so I think he's pretty like out there now.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not mainstream either. You know,
Yeah,
mainstream is like
he's in that
stadium. Well, I
weird
guess,
like he
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's that weird part. Like he's not quite underground, not quite mainstream. You know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll
yeah,
class. You
definitely.
can classify him underground, so I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I fuck with Scar Lord a lot. As far as artists, it's probably like the main ones right now, and because I gotta try to listen to everybody that
Mm-hmm.
is out right now, and uh, sometimes it's hard to remember these motherfuckers' names because they're taking all the vowels out and flipping them to V's and X's and shit. I'm like, I don't even know what this nigga's name is. I just know I be saying it in my head how it's spelled. Like it'll be like, yeah, it'll be like overdose, but it's all there's like X's where there's V's, and then you'd be like, wait, oh shit. So, but yeah. That's basically it. Scar Lord, fucking Black Crown Initiate, and all yeah, Lucifina as well,
Mm,
for sure. Um,
dope.
so yeah, that's it
Uh,
that I can think of.
dope. And you were talking about bands and stuff. Besides, you obviously Slipknot. Any other bands would you say are like influences or just favorites? Besides the one you named
Mm,
too, like the new one, Black Crown Initiate.
yeah, uh, for sure. Yeah. Well,
Mm.
Corn is on a different level. I have their autographs tattooed on my forearm right here. Um,
Oh damn.
and Corn is like the reason, like low key, why I got dreads. Play 7 string guitar because of Corn. And even though I've gone on to being involved in other genres, and even with falling at like not liking certain albums, I've been listening to them since I was like 10. So,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, that's had the biggest impact, influence wise, everything on my music. Definitely Corn. Um, Slipknot, of course, Deftones, uh, Tool, and Meshuggah.
Mm.
Uh, well as this band called After the Burial, where there's a whole genre out there called gent, and I know people hate saying it, and I hate saying it, but it's basically like an onomatopoeia of like the sound the guitar makes, like gent, 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 gent.
Mm.
It's like a really quick chugging pattern, basically. And there's a lot of bands. Meshuggah kind of came up with the genre, and a lot of people started incorporating it into their music. And then there are bands that would come out with their entire sound being based around that. So that's when it became a genre. Um, Volumes is a huge influence because I think they're doing stuff that is like, if I was in a band, that's the kind of band I'd want to be in. Like, it's metal, but like they have fun with it, man. They write good fucking songs, man. They write like they're not afraid to feature Puya on a song, and he
Right.
does a verse on a metal song where it's like it's got that groove. And they got two singers, and when they had a singer quit a couple years ago,
Mm.
and a lot of times you're like devastated. You're like, shit, what are they gonna do? Like, oh man. And he was good. Like his voice was, because they had like singing and screaming. And he was the singer. I was like, what are they gonna do, man? His voice is like fucking beautiful, man. You're like, shit. And sure enough, they got Mike Terry from, I think it was in like Bury Your Dead, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And that motherfucker can sing like an man angel too. So I was like, oh, that's what they're gonna do. And he came and fucking they released songs, and I was like, wow, it's good. So they influenced me a lot because it's like can take these steps with music and cross these boundaries, make cool shit, man. Like in my mind, I'd be like, oh no, we can't do that because because nobody's really been able to pull it off, and they fucking did, man. So they're relatively newer. Like the bands that I listed before were around since the '90s. Volumes been around since like the like 2009, 10, something like that. Maybe earlier, but when I found out about them. So
Right.
those are the main ones.
Okay. Dope. Dope. Just a random question. Would you yourself ever want to get into vocals? At least rapping, if you don't know how to do metal vocals.
Oh, I have. There's plenty of stuff with on it. In fact, on my cloud, I think if you scroll down far enough, you'll find, unfortunately, some stuff with me on there
Unfortunately.
rapping. Um, because at that time in my life, I felt like I had something to say, and even though I'm not necessarily saying it in the songs that ended up staying on my SoundCloud,
Hmm.
I like rap for the competition and like I sort of fell out of the whole lyrical bars thing because people sort of ruin it. You know what I mean? Like they
Hmm.
make it more about it ends up not being about the music anymore, but like just bending words and stuff like that. Like I was always a fan of that shit and punchlines and stuff, and so I just did it out of fun, really,
Hmm.
as far as rapping, and also I didn't have anybody to rap on my beats when I was first making beats. I couldn't even give the motherfuckers out for free, and so I would rap on them. And then as far as vocals with metal, like there's our our band's first album actually. Our singer quit. Um, he quit. I don't know how soon it was before we were supposed to go in the studio,
Hmm.
but put it this way: I was driving to Baltimore while like I had to take the CD playing in the fucking in the car, and I was like literally writing lyrics on the way to the studio. It was like a 2 hour drive from Camden to Baltimore, and I had a notebook on my lap. Don't do this shit at home. Whoever's listening, all three of y'all that care about me and are listening, pay attention to the road. Don't write and drive. But yeah, I was writing lyrics on the way to the studio, and fucking ended up being the singer for the album. Nobody else was gonna do it, And our singer quit, and we paid for the studio and everything, so I did it.
Hmm.
And on the second album, I did some vocals. There's a song called Revival on there. I did all of it, or most of it, like 90%.
Hmm.
And yeah, so there's um, I'm sure I'll do vocals again, and I did them a lot in the past, so it's not definitely happen again.
That's pretty dope. I gotta make sure I look that up. You scream or you just rap? Just regular
Yeah,
rap? Oh, you scream?
yeah. Well, on the rap stuff, it was like rapping. This was 2000. I was living in Sherman Oaks at the time. It was 2012, maybe something like that. So like screaming over beats wasn't a thing yet. If it was, I hadn't heard it.
I got you.
So yeah, it was like regular like Wiz Khalifa, Drake influence, fucking shit. So
Dope, dope.
yeah.
Um, so just cause for people that want to get into producing and listening, probably just to get an idea, what goes through your head? Like, what's the process when you are making beats? You know.
Um, a little bit. But for me, it's not anything tangible. It's
Mm-hmm.
not something. It's I just like being creative. I'll get a melody first. I really can't do beats with drums first. Like if I hear a drum beat, I'm not like, oh, I'll fucking like. They usually sound, in my opinion, whack when I do the drum beat first. Somebody sends me a drum loop and it's like, yo, add a melody. Fuck, it's gonna be whack. No, let me send you a melody and you put drums to it. But uh, I don't. As far as what goes through my head, it's just again with the whole stream of consciousness thing. It's like I just love being in the space of being creative. whether that be playing guitar, making beats, or if I had money, like and like could buy fucking all kinds of VSTs and plugins and different instruments to practice and learn and shit, like I definitely would, man. Like it's just like Ableton allows me to create on as broad of a spectrum as I possibly can right now.
Right.
So sometimes I'll have like a certain, I'll hear a beat or a song, and I'm like, oh, I want to make something like that. And in that moment, it's inspired by a particular song. But as far as the most part, every day is just waking up and I'm always in a creative fucking zone anyway. So it's just me expelling that shit inside of me that naturally always fucking is there.
Hmm. Any like emotion? Is it like emotional for you or?
To and sometimes yeah. Um, there's definitely been I'll have to find it. It was one or two that I made that I was like, wow, like, I feel like fucking crying or some shit. Like like just the guitar and whatever was happening at the time. I it just struck me that way. And fucking a lot of times it's not as far as emotion. I think when people hear that, me anyway, like my first thought is like emotional, like sad and like whatever. But emotion could be anything. So of course, like as long as me or somebody else like relays that they feel something when they listen to my music, um, my job is done. Whatever that feeling may be. If I made you feel something, like at
Mm-hmm.
any point, even if it was for 2 seconds, like that to me is worth more than money,
So
so to
you.
speak. I don't need money. I got kids. Go ahead.
I feel. I feel. So you still. So you really love the feedback that you get.
I kind of got to be careful how I, I mean, everybody wants to be loved and praised for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's not necessarily that I love the feedback. It's more that it makes me happy that I connected with somebody that on that level, and that I was that kid that would listen to music and be like, yo, I fucking love this. Like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but I love this music. Like, it would just take me away from whatever like I was dealing with. And just because you're 16 or whatever doesn't mean that you can't have like real problems. Like my dad was sick my whole life, seeing him in a wheelchair and shit, and everything that comes along with that. Like, sometimes, and this is pre drugs and things like that. So like, there's no way to really escape as a kid. So music is like being able to escape certain things, and for a kid to reach out and be like, "Yo, your music does this for me, or makes me feel this way." That is what I like when I made somebody like feel something from a song that I just fucking wrote on my goddamn coffee. You know,
Hmm.
like that shit to me is crazy. Or kids will be like, "Yo, I went out and bought a guitar because," or "Oh, I started playing guitar more because I want to start producing. What program should I buy?" Like that stuff, like impacting people, motivating people, like that. What I get more out of uh, than just being like, "Oh, I love your shit. Oh, your shit's awesome." Like, that's always subjective, but for somebody to actually like take action or something to happen as a result of them listening to my music, that is fucking the ultimate like result, I guess.
True. Of course. Of course. So out of all your beats, which one is your favorite and why?
Um,
If you well, the ones that are out, because I noticed a lot of artists they have like ones that haven't been out yet that they love. But
um,
if you can, or top three, top five, whatever you. It's up to you how you want to answer that.
I'm trying to think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
well, any producer will tell you that it's never the beats that you were like, "Yo, this is the one. This is the one." You know, fucking. This is gonna put us on. This is a masterpiece. Those are the ones that people never buy, and it's always the ones that took me like 15 minutes to make, and then I'm like, yo, this shit sucks. But like, I never delete. I used to delete beats, and then I'd be like, after a while, I'm like, yo, I'm never gonna delete it. I'm just gonna like save it and move on. And I'll be in the studio or wherever playing beats and happen to, and I forget what I'll call it, like fucking like macaroni, 155 BPM or something, just because I was eating macaroni when I was fucking making the beat. So I'll be like, what is this? And click on it and be like, oh, that's that garbage. And somebody will be like, yo, what was that? Yo, I want that one. And I'm like, what? All right. Shit. But as far as favorite beats, man, really my favorite ones are songs that aren't out yet. But I would say either the one that I did with the most recent one that's not out that I did with Sid from Slipknot, or I think the one I just did with Slipknot, or Sid from Slipknot, or I played guitar on a song that's gonna come out, YNW Melly and Smokey Margiela, called "Bust It Open." And the way that they did those drums and guitar and everything, and like that sounds so clean, and it's like sort of like a almost reminds me like a lullaby type melody, and that's very prevalent. And I found that I like that in a lot of music, like even Future. If you look at his fucking like singing and the vocals that or the top lines, the melodies that he, it almost sounds like lullaby type shit if you really listen. So, in fact, that song sounds like that. Plus, like the way that we all collaborated on the beat, like that shit out beautiful. So yeah, the one was Slipknot, Sid from Slipknot, that's not out yet. We're currently working on my favorite, and the YNW Melly one with Ben James, Levi Thomas, Margiela. Those are my favorites.
Dope. So last thing I'll ask, and I ask some like fun questions, and I like wrap it up. Uh, so what would be your advice for anyone trying to get into producing without giving away your
It depends.
mojo?
About what?
Without giving away your mojo.
Actually, I give away all my mojo as far as like secrets and fucking like this is what I do. Like there are people out there that don't like to do that, but I'll fucking tell anybody anything they want to know, just short of sending somebody. Like I had one kid, and I'm sorry if you see this. I'm not gonna say your name, but he asked me for just the guitar track to one of the Zillakami, the Cunt Face song that dropped. He was like, "Yo, can I just hear the guitar by itself?" He wanted me to like send him the guitar track from the beat. Like, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what you're gonna do with this. Like, I don't feel comfortable sending you the guitar. Like, like even though like for him to take it and do something with it, like you know, Zilla's lawyers would probably be fucking after that. But it's just kind of weird. Like, I've never heard of anybody sending out like, oh, let me get the guitar track from or the piano track from Murder on My Mind by YNW Melly. The producer would be like, no. You know, so I give everything away. And my advice would be, first of all, decide if you wanted to do it for a hobby or for a career, because that's two different things. And if you're lucky, I guess, you know, your hobby could turn into a career. But if you just want to do it for fun, well, you know, do your thing, have fun, keep it fun. Don't, when it becomes like tedious or like work, like don't fucking do it. But if you want to make it a career, my thing is, first of all, you have to be self-aware. It's a big thing. That's probably the biggest thing. Well, the biggest thing is being self-aware. Because if your beats are trash, and you can get better. Like I've been playing guitar for like I was playing guitar for like 13 years before I started making beats. And just like everyone else, my beats were trash when I started, but there was something there. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, like these aren't like some people's beats sound like they just pick up a chair and throw it against the wall and record it. There's no sense of rhythm. There's nothing there. Mm-hmm. So if you if you're already musical and have like a passion for the music and are willing to study the music and things like that, then I would say after that, being self-aware, then it's really just persistence, man. Like there's a billion, 5 billion, trillion fucking producers out there that are way more talented than I am, and the only difference is like I've been doing, like, I just did not fucking stop doing it from the time that I was like, I'm gonna be a producer. We're like, what? Or, like, what do you mean? Like, make rap, like, make beats? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. Just another creative outlet. As long as I'm being creative, then I'm happy. But I had to, like, I couldn't, because at first I was like, oh, I just want to go to LA and do music. Okay, that could mean fucking 1,000 different things. You could play live music, fucking be a session musician. The list goes on. So I decided to be a producer, and dude, I mean, after like 3, 4, 5 years, like of just like basically nothing, I think the average person would like either given up, and through that time, I saw a lot of people that moved away from LA that had come here to pursue something, and like, all right, guys, time has come. I'm moving back to Arizona or fucking Rhode Island or wherever the fuck they're from,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like, yep, another one down. Damn, that's not going to be me. Just keep going, keep persistent on social media. Like you have the whole fucking world at your fingertips with Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no, like, you don't have to wait for like some executive to come find you. You can build your own empire in your living room, or wherever your computer is, and treat it like a business. So be self aware. Is one. Fucking be persistent. Be patient. Because sometimes you'll meet somebody. Like there's been plenty of times when I like bump into somebody. Like just this morning, I was getting my kid fucking chocolate milk at 7-Eleven, and I bumped into Icy Narco, who's a rapper. And fucking the old me would have like hit him up, and like, of course he hasn't responded yet, but I'd have been like, oh man, like that was like 4 hours ago. Like let like sometimes somebody won't respond for like, I'll hit somebody up 2, 3, 4 months later, a year later, I'll hear from them. And this isn't always, what I'm saying? Like, it has happened several times. A long period of time goes by, and they're like, oh, hey, man, my bad. Yo, I heard your stuff, bro. Like, yo, let's fucking, just being patient. Just knowing, planting seeds everywhere and watching them grow.
Yeah.
What's another thing? So, yeah, self-aware, be fucking persistent, be patient. And that's basically it, yes. And social media, again, like I was saying before. Treat it like a business, man. You make a product that has no overhead cost except for like when you first start, like your laptop and your programs and stuff like that. But you don't need all these fucking VSTs, and you don't need like all these crazy fucking plugins and shit like that. Like if you're creative enough, you can take 1 or 2 programs and with effects turn those sound like into a billion different sounds. And then just download drum kits offline, free ones from producergrind.com or wherever, Reddit, and bam, there's your drums. And then fucking your business, your product has no overhead costs. So they come from your mind. You can just keep fucking making them, and you go out there and you sell them, you hustle them like a fucking an entrepreneur. Whether it's through BeatStars, Instagram, fucking YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Like, go out there and hustle. Pay for fucking. I haven't done this yet. I'm poor, but you can pay for marketing on Instagram and Facebook and sponsored ads and all that shit. So that as well. That's probably like 4 or 5 things that are like the main things that I would suggest. And go back and run that back and write that shit down if you're serious. That's like, I wish somebody, that information's out there, but to have it summed up like that, for my situation, that's what worked. It took me long, I had gray hairs coming in. I'm by a lot of people's standards, fucking old in the rap game. But I like, since I've been in the studio, I've been where you go to the studio and there's an artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
and they have like 20 people with them, and then there's like this one of the dudes up, and before she gets out, it's a quiet white guy down, and he's one of the songwriters. You're like, who's that guy that's whooping a Porsche and clean as fuck? Oh, that's one of the songwriters, one of the producers, and you're like, yo, you have no idea who the fuck that motherfucker is. He can go on Ralph's and nobody bothers him. Some fucking Bill Johnson from fucking Missoula, Montana, fucking whatever. But he's a songwriter,
Yeah.
and he gets his publishing, and that's where the money is. And so that's like when I saw things like that, people like that in the studio, I'm like, shit, well, that's what I want to be. I don't want to be famous and all these people writing all this crazy shit. Like, yo, I want to be like this motherfucker. Just pull up and not say shit and be fucking talented as fuck, and you know.
Yeah.
So once I found out that like you can still be like older or whatever, and like nobody gives a fuck, like the rappers, yeah, they gotta have like an image and shit like that. But the people writing the music, ain't no age cap on that shit, man. You can fucking keep doing that shit till you're 80. So, you know, when I found that out, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking, because even if you're say you start, and I started when I was like 24 or 25 or something like that, going for producing. Say if it takes you till you're 40 to
Mm-hmm.
be on a level like where you're making like at least 100, 200, 300,000. Okay, well now you're making more money than you ever would have in your entire life. So from age 40 to 80, however long you live, I mean, you gotta be willing to put in that work. But like now you can live this life that is crazy and fucking, and you would have been stuck at working at fucking UPS otherwise,
Right.
manager, fucking Olive Garden. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. That's just me. I kind of went off on a rant, but I
No,
felt like all that shit. So
it's good.
producers, check that shit out.
Hell yes. I mean, hey, you've done so much so far, so it wouldn't make sense to not take that advice, and it was good. I didn't think you ranted it at all. I think that was good. Something to
Well, I
take
appreciate
away.
it, man.
Of course. Well, even though
Yeah,
I don't produce, I soak in like the concept of what you're talking about. You know.
yeah. Same. Anything, man. Like people say, like corny sayings about like persistence and hard work and shit are true, man. Like
Hmm.
once you just realize that like work, keep your head down, fucking don't stop, and yeah, just fucking keep hustling. Like that's when shit gets easy. Really.
Love it, brother. Definitely, definitely. All right, so I'm gonna ask you some. I hope you remember it from like the first time we tried to do this. The questions. I hope you're ready for
Uh huh.
the fun part of the question. I call it the fun part. It's not that fun, but you know
Okay.
it. So I forgot what you said last time, but I'm gonna ask again. I can't remember who is your celebrity crush if you have one, because I forget who you said it was.
Oh man. Hmm. Well, I have like one that I've always thought Mila Kunis was like, for some reason, if you're like watching the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that like whenever her scene would come on, she'd be like behind the desk with like a little flower in her ear and shit like that. And I like the movie would be like blank. They'd be talking, but like I couldn't hear anything, and like, I would be focused on her. Like, oh my god, this specimen is beautiful. This woman is beautiful. What the fuck? Oh my god, like I'm fucking flabbergasted right now. What the fuck? Like sweating and shit. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like that, I just was like speechless, and for whatever reason, that character when she played in that scene, that most beautiful example of a woman ever to me.
Mm.
But that's like an older movie. Trying to think. Now I don't even know, man. There's so many goddamn fucking random like models and actresses and shit like that. So it's like usually like some you know relatively unknown. I'm trying to think. What the fuck is his name? I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it's like some.
Like an Instagram model or something.
like tattooed, like dreadlock, like she got like piercing. Like I like that shit. So
Ah,
you know,
okay, okay. Oh, your style. I was gonna. Speaking of that, your style. So like, have you always rocked, the dreads and tats and stuff like that, or?
um, I've been trying to get dreads on for like my entire life, and I just never had the patience because I would get like I would try, and I have like very trying to. There's a lot of white in my hair and my blood, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So like it'd be like a month or so in, and I'm trying to fuck into like not locked, and I wake up and hold up, wake up and they're like undone, untwisted, and then your scalp has to get used to like going longer periods of time without washing it.
Right.
So first you're sitting there like fuck this shit, but I always thought it was like I would see some dreads and I would think it was like the coolest fucking thing ever, man. Especially like I don't like the neat looking fucking freshly twisted ones. I always like Bob Marley or Gunplay or somebody from Korn or like the Rasta type ones.
Yeah.
And I tried to get them in like seventh or eighth grade, and I actually used to rock the little Yachty braids, like
Hmm.
you rock them for like a week or two, and then take them out. And my mom could braid real well, so she used to braid my hair every like week or two for school. And this wasn't like 1997 to like 90 to like 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Off and on, I would like basically braid my hair throughout the whole school year, just wear different colored shits all the time. And Christmas it'd be like red and green ones. I was just known for that.
Mm.
And yeah, so I had the Yachty braids because the dreads were like just I couldn't. But now, like with patience and like there's products out there and stuff like that, like to take care of your. I just I kept having dreams that I had dreads. Like I would have like a shaved head, and I would in my dreams I'd be like I remember I would be like look like bent over like I don't know if I was in the shower or something, and I'd see like them hanging down. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like going like this kind of, and I would wake up and be like, why do I have a dream that I had dreadlocks? But
You
it
really
would
wanted them.
happen like several times a week or several times every couple months, I would say,
Mm.
which is weird. And so I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try. Like when I started working for myself, I'm like, I'm just gonna try to fucking whatever happens a year from now, I will have dreads. So whatever happens between now and then, I'm gonna put up with. Sure enough, man, it took like 7 months for them to blow up. So
Dope.
yeah,
Dope. Dope. Let me see. What would be if you could have a superpower? What would it be?
um, I would say to teleport.
Teleport. That's
Teleport.
I
That
love
way you
that.
could just like go. You could. That would be so fucking convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely to teleport.
y'all keep taking my power, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's a good power. Uh, shoot. I want to ask this question. Don't answer this so seriously. I don't want to
Yeah.
do something so dark. But if you could change one thing going back in time, what would it be?
If I could change one thing going back in time,
Yeah.
honestly, nothing. But for this question,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you said don't make it serious. I got you.
Yeah.
Yo, I was at the fucking NAACP like Image Awards. To me, it looked like the Grammys. Fucking Will Smith was there. I took a picture with like Spike Lee. This was speaking of dreads. This was like the day before I actually put dreads in my hair. Because if you scroll back, you see like the stupid like I had to like usually I was just wearing whatever, but like I was rolling to like this event, so I had to like style my hair. And at the time, I had never I always either wore a hat or fucking just let it rock. So I was like, how do I style this half like afro fucking like looking like Frederick Douglass trying to part on the side and shit. Um, fucking so like yeah, that's how I remember the pictures because I'm like looking at my hair like what the fuck. But uh, fucking I'm sorry, what was the question again?
If you could go back in time, what would you change?
Yeah. So I'm at the NAACP Awards, and I meet why don't you fuck his name up again? Uh oh, I'm in line, and fucking Spike Lee and Morris Chestnut are talking. So you know who Morris Chestnut is, right?
The actor, yeah.
Was that
He's an actor.
actor? Yeah, black actor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, they're standing right in front of me, and you know, I take pictures. If I see a celebrity and they're not eating, I'll ask them for a picture and be like, "So, hey man, I'm a fan. Like, mind if I get a flick with you?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so I'm sitting there talking to him, and I was like talking to him for like maybe like 45 seconds or something. I didn't realize till afterwards, and he recorded a video like my mom loves this dude. Like, so I was like, "Yo," and my first thing was, "Yo, like, can you record a video like saying what's up to my mom?" She's a huge fan. So he did. He was like, "Hey, Kim, blah blah blah." I was calling this motherfucker Blair Underwood the whole time.
Oh.
It was Morris Chestnut. So looking back, the way he was looking at me, now I'm like, oh my god. Yo, I was calling fucking Morris Chestnut Blair Underwood to his face like for like 2-3 minutes straight. And I was like, yo. Well, I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, that's stupid enough. The one thing I would like go back and change, because if I ever saw them, he probably doesn't remember, never remember. But at the time, he was like, "This dumb motherfucker calling me Blair Underwood."
That is epic.
Yo,
That's
so
epic.
fucking stupid. But anyway, yeah.
That's dope. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh shit, I'm thinking of stuff. Oh, first, what's your favorite food? I gotta ask that.
Favorite food,
Mm-hmm.
man. Fucking. I went to that event. I interned for a basically like a consultant company for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They always had high end clientele, like people that were coming out here for like record labels and stuff to basically like spend a lot of money for the LA experience and like pay for the fucking record label meetings and shit like that. And with this company, we went and ate at this place called Katana it's on Sunset. The lobster tempura, like you know like sushi tempura.
Yeah.
It was called lobster tempura or however you say it. And that best tasting thing that and there's a truck that's around LA called Lobster Truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's lobster but spelled A, Lobster Truck. At Lobster Truck, you can see where they're going to be parked at. They go from like Orange County Valley basically. And for my birthday, usually we'll find this truck like around my birthday, and I usually get two lobster rolls from these trucks. Fucking out, like incredible, unbelievable. Hold up, hey, chill out. Yeah, the lobster rolls are fucking incredible for this truck.
Mm-hmm.
You want to cry when they're done. So yeah, lobster specifically, lobster tempura from Tana and lobster rolls from the truck.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. So that's your favorite. What food? Because I have mine. What food would you want would you want like extinct from the planet? Like, what is the worst food
Oh
ever?
man, definitely
You said what? You've audio cut out.
equally mushrooms. Like any
Mushrooms.
magic fuck or any mushroom ever. I cannot fuck the taste, the smell, the fucking hold up.
A lot of people don't like mushrooms.
Yo, get down from there and do not touch that. My kids being, I can see them in the glass, and it's like if they leave this little area, uh, uh But yeah, mushroom mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? You don't like mayonnaise?
No, it's like a visual thing,
Oh, okay.
but and like the texture, like I mean, yeah, you can't not see your food, so it's a visual thing. I used to have watch me have it in this video. I had a camp counselor when I was a kid. That never starts off good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that always leads to something weird sounding. But yeah, I had this camp counselor, and he had this. I don't know if it was a medical condition or whatever, but when he would talk, he would like this white shit would like build
Oh,
up in the corner of his mouth,
yo, I hate when
and
people do that. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Ugh.
but then it would get so bad that it would start to like, and I mean like to the point where it was like coming down, and I'm like, fucking, how old was I? I must have been 12 or 13, and I was there with my brother actually. So every day, like, oh, like yo, what the? And the one time it was a history camp actually. Like my parents did all kinds of shit for a
Mm.
child. Don't ever let me out here like, oh, it was fucked up. It was just me out here. Oh, my parents love me. Okay, fuck that shit. It did everything for me.
That's lit.
But we had this history camp, whatever. And then one day it was like how they used to make ice cream or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like day 3 or 4 after like first day we realized we actually had a name for it. Oh man, I'm gonna say it because I like God forbid like this becomes like I end up like becoming successful and years down the road somebody finds this video and it's like look they're talking about you, but you know what I mean, like damn man I didn't mean to like but the dude's name was Rick. I'm not gonna say his last name. His first name was Rick, and like we would call it Rick sauce. Like to this day, to this day, me and my fucking family, like if somebody has something in the corner of their mouth, or like even like significant others that I've had, like the term Rick sauce becomes like a thing for something in the corner of your like mouth. And like yeah, you got, and they know what it is. But
Oh
yeah,
shit.
so he would have like dripping white shit, foam, spittle coming
Spittle.
down his fucking mouth. And the one day we were making ice cream and churning like cream into ice cream, like ice and legit like farm style fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this white like fucking like concoction of fucking like cream shit. And I just remember him like taking it and like tasting it and like it was like a big wooden spoon. He was like and like and like sticks it back in the ice cream, starts stirring again. And me and my brother basically like in the middle of the thing, like looked at each other and was like, ew, nah, and like vocally was like, ew, like, and then he started like passing it out, like giving people bowls of this, and we were like, and like, come on, try. I'm like, like, what are you lactose intolerant? We're like, nah,
Yo, Rick sauce. I'm gonna be saying that for a minute.
Rick sauce, bro. Motherfucking Rick, yo, to this day, if somebody got Rick sauce,
That's
so
hilarious, man.
that's why like anytime I would see mayonnaise, I'd be like, ooh, no way, dude. Fuck
Uh,
that.
Mayonnaise. You just see Rick sauce on the label.
Yeah, because and in fact, another kid that like my mom doesn't like that shit either for obvious
Mm-hmm.
different reasons, but probably the same sort of like
Mm-hmm.
body like just a white sauce does not look good. And so fucking we never had it, but this kid had it at the camp, and that when he would eat at lunch and get it in like in his all over like in the corners of his mouth, and I would see fucking Rick over there, and then him. And no mayonnaise ever, ever again. And mushrooms, I just don't like at all. They just taste nasty
Mushrooms, man.
and smell nasty and feel nasty, whatever.
A lot
So
of people don't like it. I don't know. I enjoy it on things. Like I can't eat a mushroom by itself, but I don't. Some people don't like
nobody's out there eating mushrooms. Some
it.
people are like, for some reason, shiitake mushrooms sound like they could be good,
Mm-hmm.
but still, no, I can't do it.
The fact that it's a mushroom.
Yeah, like I feel like there's one that I saw. It's that, and what's funny, it's like a huge kind of is it shiitake? Maybe it was like a portobello or something. I forget, but I saw it, and the way they prepared it, I was like, okay, maybe I can fuck with that, but I still was like, nah, the way that it, mm-mm. So maybe one day I'll fucking some
Try it.
kind of variation, but In fact, yo,
Mm-hmm.
This is like a. I know I keep going off on these tangents. It just
You good?
reminds me.
You good?
It's fucking shout out Marie,
Shout out who? I don't. It cuts
the
you out.
Marine rapper.
Okay.
The artist that he's the first artist really would hear and be like, "Yo, what are you doing with that?" I'm trying to rap on it. Yo. Anyway, so I'm going to his crib and I walk in and you know when somebody's cooking something, usually it's like, oh man, like who's cooking something? What are we eating? You know, like shit smells good. I walk in and it's like, boom, hit. And I'm like, ugh, like I'm sick, I'm nauseous. What the fuck is going on in here? It's disgusting. And I'm not saying nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like we go over there to like work some shit and the whole time I'm like, yo, I don't know if I can be here. This is like, ugh, like, it smells like just like this is the worst thing I could ever be smelling right now. And finally I'm like, yo, because in my mind it was inconceivable. So we were like, whatever, and I'm like, should I say something? Do I got to step out? I don't know. I have no idea. So like, I want to ask what it is, but my tone of voice, I couldn't even ask nicely. Like, I would be like, what the? What is? I know this girl's. She was cooking something. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, whatever she's cooking. So, but eventually, she happens to go over to the fucking oven and opens out like this huge tray. And I hate mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
This she opens the oven and pulls out this tray. I mean, this heaping pile. I don't know what she was like making something with somebody else or something.
Mm-hmm.
Needed like an absurd amount of mushrooms, and was happened to be like baking like this pan of like I don't know, almost 20 pounds of mushroom, 10 pounds, like huge, like the biggest. I mean, cooking, eating there. I can't even stand look. Bro.
Man, is
The whole
that?
apartment was just like baked, and it wasn't fried or like covered with nothing. It was just like these mushrooms cooked in the oven. And I was, in my mind, I was like, that's not. I was like, that's not what. It can't be that. Why would some fuck ton of mushrooms? Like, so that proved like not even knowing what sick.
Man.
Fucking mushrooms.
That man, that's funny. That's funny. Let me think. So I guess I think is it you think there's anything I kind of left out in the interview? You think
I think that man, that shit.
you think the audio's cutting out a little bit. What'd you say?
No, I mean I think that was it. Make sure y'all follow me. 02. Twitter, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat, same thing. Uh, yeah. Like any producers out there that want to know something, hit me up. If y'all got questions, I'll show you how to do shit on Ableton. Like I'm sure it can't always be like this, but for the time being, if I can get back, then you know, if I charge you, spend it it's special because I charge basically everyone.
Right.
Uh, yeah, man. Be
Okay.
a good person. Be nice. Oh yeah, make sure that you R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
No
R.I.P.
second.
Nipsey, man.
Uh, All Money In. That was the yo.
Mm.
I've had because of the opioid epidemic. I've had probably 10. No, I'm sorry, not more than 10. Shit, probably 20 friends in the past 10 years, maybe die 5, 10 years. At least
Mm.
20 friends, and you know we've lost many musicians from Michael Jackson, Mac Miller to Prince, XXX Tentacion. Point being, we've lost all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been like, damn, I'll bummed out when I die. I got a Prince tattoo on my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, that's lit.
Fuck.
Yeah, I see. I see.
Okay, yeah. So, but when Nipsey Hussle died, man, I actually like can't even lie, man. It wasn't at first, but like I like actually had like tears come down, bro. Like
Man.
actually cried. Like when it like sank in that he died. I was because when I moved to LA, man, fucking the Crenshaw tape came out shortly after, and that was like my welcome to out. I lived right near Crenshaw, and which is not the same neighborhood. Crenshaw is once you get past a certain point, Crenshaw is Crenshaw. So, fucking, yeah, it was. I mean, just all like a entrepreneur, like businessman tip. Like I used to listen to his interview morning. Every morning, I used to listen to Gary V. Hussle, just talking. So I was a huge fan. I mean, some of the he said are reasons why I've gotten, uh, you know, certain things in my career or taken certain steps to achieve like major steps from his advice. You know, things that he would say to do, or like turn down certain deals because I want to stay independent. But somebody is on my turn, I end up winning, not somebody owning me. Thinking, oh, I can't do this. Nah, it's got to be. I'm good on my own. So if you don't want to work, it's got to be on my terms.
Right.
So shit like that, man. So when he died, I was like, I can't even. I was choked up, and then it was just like, yo. And then I saw thing. I didn't see all of it. I kept seeing clips, and then I saw when his brother got up there and started. I still haven't watched it. I probably will watch it today because I kept trying to watch it. I was like, kind of out get me, and I'd be like, fuck, yo, Nipsey Hussle is dead, bro. I read that shit like 30 times. I was like, Nipsey Hussle was shot, and what? Like, kidding me? So, oh man, like, I was gonna say R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle second when I said that. I just wanted to speak
Well,
on
man, you good?
record,
You good,
you
man?
know.
Yeah.
Um, but he was such a good person to like,
Yeah.
um, to everybody, and he treated everybody with respect and everything. So that's why it was like, wow, man, we lost it. But on top of everything that he lost a real one. And I learned treating everybody with respect from him. I mean, well, from him and Gary Vee, like as far as going the extra mile with, it's basically customer service,
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck, man. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Of course, man. Of course.
Spoke this give how short this video, but yeah, that's it. Check me out on social media. I'm very active. This is recapping social media. I'm very active at Brian Spencer 30. RIP Nipsey Hussle, and stay on your game. That's it.
Hell yes. Everything will be in the description. Well, oh, sorry. Last thing I want to ask you, is what's next to come? Like, and you say in the next few months for Brian Spencer.
Just stay work, getting to almost every day. I'm getting a new email or DM from somebody that's like, "Yo, this person, like, I heard your shit. Let's hook up." And I'm like, for instance, now I'm working with Muppy, who produces Scar Lord,
Oh
and
yeah.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, these are just like normal dudes, motherfuckers from Oklahoma or some shit.
Still.
And it's like, but to me, I'm like, nigga, I study you, know you, nigga. And, so that just happened. I just did there's another producer, he's actually roommates with Morgue Beats, I think. And at least he's always over there. But Teo Fetty,
Mm.
that motherfucker, I heard, I thought it was just another nigga at the crib, just at the corner making beats on another computer. I'm like, that shit bop. Yo, hey, bro, hey, let me get your email. And then he ended up being, him and Kinfolk John, that's a Lil Xan's DJ.
Right.
And he's fired too. So it's like, shit, man, fucking got shit. It's just like every day I get these opportunities and collabs and shit. So it's really hard to say, but definitely be on the lookout for shit with me. The song with Lucifer, Sid Wilson, and forgot Johnny. That's gonna be coming out at some point. Um, yeah, it's probably the biggest one. More shit for me and Sid Wilson too.
Dope. Dope. All right. All right. I can't wait, man. I'm excited. That's lit, man. And once again, thank you. This is great, man. I always love talking to you. I can't wait to do this again. Anything,
For sure, man.
hit me up for anything because I'll definitely hit you up like the fanboy I am.
Hey, you don't seem. I seem like a fucking everybody. So like, you don't. that way at all.
Oh, I'm glad you think that because I am like like it's
All right,
Brian
hey
Spencer,
man,
man.
and I get it. That's why with Sid, bro. I mean, like to him, it's just like whatever. But to me, I'm like, that's his TV. Like that's his
Exactly.
dog.
Exactly.
That's like he'll give me like, hey man, you want some tea? Sid Wilson's cup. I got fucking slip. Yo, hey, bro, they don't know.
That's
Like I'm an
lit.
actual fan, nigga. So,
That's lit,
but yeah,
man.
man, appreciate you, bro.
Of course.
Just let me know when it drops.
Got you, bro. Most definitely.
Cool.
All right.
All right, brother.
Much love, man.